The space-time continuum, the continuum method. In modern science, space-time continuum is widely used, but not all professionals are familiar with the principles of continuum method. The subject of this lecture is the basic knowledge according to continuum method, without which a person can't be a specialist in any field of fundamental physics, cosmology, or astronomy, regardless of the content of the diplom and the rank of the institution issuing the diplom. If any of these sections in the formation is missed or not mastered in the full form, it can lead only to a fragmented competence of specialist. The lecture material is presented by a simple language. It is equally essential to both students and scientists. Continuum method is a common method for the continuum. The first thing you should know is that two fundamentally different operations of additions used in modern science simultaneously. Let us examine them in detail. The first operation. Arithmetic addition is an arithmetic act. It is noted by the sign plus. The addition is carried out with positive numbers. The result of the addition of these numbers, the term, is a new number, amount, which contains as many units as they contain all the terms. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, and so on. It is used another method of addition proposed by Albert Einstein, the academic summation. The concept of all continuums is not built on the arithmetic addition but on the academic summation. Academic summation is carried out through the number 3. Two numbers are added by usual way. 1 by 1 plus 1 is 2. But a further summation with the result of 3 is not recognized. In future, no matter how many items are not summarized, the result is always the same. Unity, a single continuum. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 1. 3 plus 1 is 1. How does it work? How can it be possible not to admit that when you summarize 3 units, you got 3? Consider it in details. You really have 3 pencils, and you can count them using usual arithmetic addition and get 3. But you, for whatever reason, don't want to acknowledge the obvious. Then you can use the demagogic methods and come up with a confusing rationale. For example, the following. I don't know how to count next non-existent pencil, but if I don't know where it is, it doesn't mean that it is not existed. Consequently, the pencils are not 3. It is not clear, but it works. Everyone can distinguish functional objects from existing ones, present from absent, with the help of brain, but after a proper suggestion, some people lose their ability to think and are not very sure that the 3 pencils are 3 pencils, and the number of pencils is considered as unknown. This approach is supported by such famous scientists as academic Cherepashuk, Nobel Prize winner Jurez Alferov. Academic summation is a very important way of addition of the buttocks. The entire cosmology of the 20th century is based on this method. A large part of modern physics is based on academic summation. In the academic summation is only one drawback. It was built outside of the scientific method, and now it is a pseudoscience in its purest form. In the term of the scientific method, academic summation is the idiotic summation. Idiotic summation is not hukri-mukhri for you. It is the main line of science. Idiotic summation by itself is a great way to fool the brain of students. If a student can't count even through pencil, it means he won't be able to exactly count 3 dimensions of space. Let's consider it in detail. After refusing the real result of summing 3 pencils, it is necessary to make further wheeling of brain. To this purpose, abstract entity is added to the pencils, for example, memories about the pencils. Everything in nature is closely connected, for example, past time, memories, and time. As a result, you have 3 real pencils and memories about them that are needed to be added to pencils. And no matter how you do this, the result is known in advance. It is one continuum. That is, 3 plus 1 is 1 unit, and 3 plus 48 is 1. As memories about pencils are not evident, on it can be done as follows: 1 pencil, 2 pencils, 3 pencils, and plus fact. Don't worry, nobody will notice anything. We have a whole Ministry of Education that doesn't see anything, and if we use the so-called idiotic summation, we can add any number of facts. 2 facts, 3 facts. However, from 3 we always can get 1. The quality of the continuum will not change. Don't be surprised, the space-time continuum has turned out by this way. We took 1 pencil geometric dimension at an angle, then the second one, the third one, added a pencil memories, the time, and have a wonderful space-time continuum. And now several generations of cattle may desperately believe in this fact. And after we fact all pencils, we didn't find facts among them, as well as we didn't find the memories of facts or time among them. There is no memories between the first and the second pencil, or between the second and the third one. But now it is possible to go crazy safely. After adding memory, pencil should be bent, looked more attentive. It is not so straight as line. It is the curvature of space-time. Now let's consider the continuum method itself in detail. Continuum is the absence of interruptions. Let's take a pencil. 1 pencil itself is a continuum. A pencil is really continuous. Let's unite the pencil in common continuum with something else. Let's add a herring to the pencil. A herring itself is also a continuum, because herring consists only of herring, and it is also continuous and continuity of this continuum. Now it is necessary to unite a herring and a pencil in one common continuous, in a continuum. But there is one problem. The concept of a pencil and herring are different. herring is not a slate and wood and cannot be continuum with a pencil. The second problem is the interface. Where the pencil touches the herring, the continuity ends, and even if we drop the pencil into the herring, it will be the line where the herring is touching a pencil. That's why to be united in continuity it is necessary to choose something common, uniform, or something that is not so concrete and tangible. For example, you can add memories about herring to the pencil continuum. Combine them with a pencil. There was herring, but we remember about it, and memories are connected with time. We can say that everything in nature is interconnected as the continuum. Now you can chase the geese not only the length and breadth, but also from the future into the past. All this is possible not with one condition: if you have previously turned people into cattle. There is only one way to turn people into cattle: don't give them accurate knowledge. And really, there is no any elementary definition of space in any textbook on physics, math, or geometry. There is no definition of dimension, there is no definition of place occupied by the body. And of course, there is no continuum method. It is important to know the following. Besides the fraud in geometry, the continuum method isn't used anywhere else. So this continuum dirty is invented and used for only fraud in geometry. How does the continuum method work in practice? We can demonstrate an example. If you take a great appendix and sew it to my grandmother, you can get a great grandmother's appendix continuum. That's why you can confidently lie that the grandmother's shadow is very similar to the grandfather's shadow, and he will be able to inseminate the whole neighborhood. Then the geese are born by beavers. From these, grandfather will be able to dig wormholes, and through the wormholes to get to the singularity that immediately will provide the dark material. Of course, that to be inspired by these prospects, nobody will remember how the continuum corresponds to the scientific method. Quotes from lecture of academic Cherepashuk. This is a leaf. This is the two-dimensional model of our three-dimensional world. 2 is 3. Shit may not be untasted because millions of lies cannot be wrong. Albert Einstein. Here we have it twisted and so on third space so we can travel. This is a very long time, but we can create wormhole and through this wormhole to cross from one area to another in some seconds. Wormhole tunnel is the space-time. In the wormhole, one can come in and walk out there. Cherepashuk. It should be noted that the continuum method of summation is not a monopoly. In order to introduce its own method of summation, any citizen needs only to deal the brigade of stupid men and implement them into the Academy of Sciences. After their coming to the power, the super technology will necessarily win. They almost win because the examination of high technology projects is headed by the wonderful person, a great expert in continuum summation. That's why there is no need to worry about super technology. The result is predictable. Commitment to the continuum doesn't depend on understanding of the subject, but on the suggestibility of the individual. The greater the suggestibility, the greater continuum dependence. If your teacher believes in continuum seriously, it means that in front of you there is a creature that is unable to think, that has come to turn you into the kettle. If you are a teacher that believes in a continuum seriously, it means that transformation into the kettle has been successfully held. After mastering continuum method, you can safely assume irresponsible, tell nonsense, count uncounted, and develop science in general to the top of idiocy. It is especially easy to do if you are not able to count to 3. It is important to know that the stories about practical aspects of relativity theory are lies. It is a fairy tale invented by cattle to cattle. It is really a lie. For all positions, without exceptions, including the most recent ones, like GPS. There is no any dependence on relativity theory. It is a fairy tale for blondes. There is no and never will be any single device or the device that depends on relativity theory. No one instrument was created during 100 years of rotation of this Mendele's theory. You can wait for another 100, 200, 300 years. It depends on your wishes to wait. How much do you want? Many of our actions are determined by the suggestions, although we don't notice them. Olinka, what is the color of the pyramid? Both are white. What color of the pyramid? Both are white. What is the color of the pyramid? Look here. What is the color of the pyramid? Both are white. Andrei, what color of the pyramid? Both are white. Olenka, what is the color of the pyramid? Both are white. What color of the pyramid? Both are white. Both are white. Both are white. Give the black one. Why did you say that this pyramid was white? I don't know. One is white, the another is black. Everybody said that they are white. I repeated after them. Why did you repeat? I wanted. Everybody said that the pyramid was white. Look here. This is porridge, sugar, and salt. Let's offer this porridge to children. Taste, please. Taste porridge and say, is it tasty? Tanichka, what is the porridge? It is sweet. Vaля, what is porridge? Wow! Vova, what can you say about the porridge? It's sweet. Vika, what can you say about porridge? It is sweet. No? Taste, please. What is the porridge? It is salt. This behavior is independent. The desire for independence, orientation on their own experience. We think it's natural, but when the opinions of others is more important than the personal feelings, people voluntarily give up their own opinions. This behavior is called inspired. Attention! Porridge is salty. Taste porridge. Do you like porridge? Is porridge sweet? Do you want? Why? Because it is salty. And why did you say that it was sweet? The porridge is sweet. What is porridge? It is sweet. Sergey, what is porridge? It is sweet. Mila, what is porridge? What is porridge? It is sweet. Would you like some more? What is porridge? Is it sweet? Do you like some more? Yes, it is very important for everybody the opinion of other people. She doesn't want porridge because the porridge is not tasty.
Разрушение неокрепшей психики студентов привитием комплекса неполноценности перед гениальностью, шизофренией.
There is only one purpose to issue students books containing false information. It is the destruction of fragile students' psyche, the development of inferiority complex before the genius of schizophrenics and simply scoundrels. One good man.
Добавим карандашу, например, селедку. Селедка сама по себе. Селедку. Селедка сама по себе это тоже континуум. Добавим карандашу, например, селедку. Селедка сама по себе это тоже континуум. Объединим карандаш в общий, объединим карандаш в общий континуум. С чем-нибудь добавим карандашу, например, селедку. Селедка сама по себе это тоже континуум. Ведь селедка состоит. Объединим карандаш в общий континуум еще с чем-нибудь. Добавим объединим карандаш в общий континуум еще с чем-нибудь. Добавим карандашу, например, селедку. Селедка сама по себе это тоже континуум. Не могу. Пацаны, поддержите науку. Видите, каким трудом дается балбесам объяснять